Yo, what is going on, YouTube? A long time no see. It has been quite a while here, me on the tubes. But hey, we are not even attempting. We have always tried to expand our regions and branch out to every platform. Wouldn't say that's always the best thing to do, to put your eggs in every basket, but I've been the kind of guy who's thought of there should be no plan B, C, or D. There should only be plan A because it's going to work, but it's not how life works. And first and foremost, grab some popcorn. We're going to sit through these 11 minutes if you'd like. I'm going to sit here and just vent, chime you in on some things. If you really follow me through Instagram and other social media, I have not been completely absent. My uploading is sporadic, that is true, but it's for good reason. I'm really trying to figure this thing out to where it benefits me, but I'm also adding value as I dance. But yes, adding value to what you're watching. If you're anything like me, you do spend some time on social media, on the internet. And me personally, when I watch something, I would like to have had added value to myself and or a new perspective. Maybe disassociating myself with certain things. Unlearning something that somebody might have awoken in me. The world is yours. It's also up to you. You are the tool. You are that thing that creates and associates, blends together, makes the improvement overall. Not somebody else. Somebody else just makes it aware maybe to you and or reveals it, but you are the one who has to put in the work to actually get something out of it. That being said, this is what we do. We're not just punching a bag. It might seem like that. It might seem like some egotistical, maybe dude's got nothing better to do, but the overall scheme of things, this is what helps me. This is what is challenging to me, trying to go for as long as I can, punching the bag, creating rhythms, movements, flow, adding, the weighted vest on top of the resistance band, creating scenarios in my head of self-defense, possibly scenarios. Obviously, the real thing is one thing, but this is a stepping stone and or a form of defense. I also know that this opens up a portal simultaneously to anybody who does any kind of fighting or martial arts. Not that it's an open invitation to come fight me, but hey, it really sparks your interest. If you ever see me, who knows, maybe you'll catch me in the mood where I'm feeling froggy. But I am not a fighter on any occasion on purpose. I am just someone who defends myself and or against bullies to anybody. Don't know if I've ever mentioned this, don't really want to, don't like to, but for reference, a lot of my training, and I don't owe it to anybody besides myself, for actually committing to training my whole life and working out. But when I was younger, I was definitely, I didn't look like this. And nobody should look like they are when they're younger, but in reference to, my muscularity, training regime, the way I carried myself. When I was younger, I was bullied quite a bit. Up all the way until high school, I would say. I was always just different, maybe. I don't know, not in a good way. I didn't look like most kids. I didn't act like most kids. I didn't think like most kids. I didn't want to, and I understood that at a very young age. Didn't always click in scenarios that I had free will and autonomy to a degree, but I was a product of my environment for a long time, and still I am. There's certain things I can't get away from, like taxes and work, making money. Everything involves money. But this is a product of making it aware that I am not what other people want me to be. I repeat that again, and that goes for you too, if this helps. You are not what others say about you. You are what you do. And you are not, you do become what you say you are, in a negative and or positive way, but you more so become what you constantly do. So if you repetitively train and uplift yourself and fight the good fight, even when there's a little devil on your shoulder telling you to give up, you're not worth it, there's that little light of hope that says, nah, we keep going. Where are we going? We don't know, but we will not surrender. We will not give in. And this is that kind of battle that you see here. So let's talk about the training a little, since it is what you're watching. So my training, it's obviously it's nothing. Okay, maybe it is a little crazy, maybe it even looks a little funny, but it definitely has helped me with clarity. It's almost like quicksand or a huge resistance band on my whole mind, where I'm forced to slow down. I'm forced to not be so sporadic, because if I am creating lifelike scenarios, then I should be meticulous and accurate and make sure that I'm not just throwing random blows and throwing crazy punches. I want to make sure that I'm got some form of technique, flow, that even if I don't win the fight, I go home with my life. And that's the point. I want to be able to go home every night to my family, to my wife, my kids, if I have, we get there down the road. That's why I train. Self-defense. It's never, even though sometimes I would like to put somebody 6 feet under, it's mostly so I don't get buried, so nobody cries at my home. That's why I train. I obviously train for, mental reasons, trying to, stay sharp and not go crazy, staying fit, healthy, cardio up, to perform, to be athletic because it's fun, to be just gritty. But we train with some kind of purpose. And here, it's self-defense, making sure someone knows if they mess with me, it's gonna cost them, hopefully, and I plan to make it cost them. I know, it's a lot, but it's not a lot either, because you can take what you want and you can take what doesn't work. Louie, I don't know if I need to go put on a couple pounds on a weighted vest and go an hour of punching on a bag that hurts my hands and I might break bones. You're right. I totally get that. But it's what I needed. It's what I need. And you go find what you need. If that's drawing for 3 hours because you're trying to figure out how this line creates an illusion for the person who's watching it, or if you're an engineer who's trying to understand the physics of whatever it may be, do it. That's what you need for enlightenment, for growth, to satisfy your itch. Do it. I hope this helps in some way, shape, or form. Be on the lookout for these videos. You know, maybe they're shorter, maybe they're longer next time, depending on the feedback and obviously how much I post too. I obviously know that some of these are probably not gonna spark up right away, but maybe somebody out there is like, I need a little change of pace. I need a YouTuber who just does nothing but training for right now and chimes in my ear a little bit and gives me a new horizon. That's me maybe for you. A little life coach, a little lifestyle coach, maybe a little bit of relationship advice, not just with girls or partners, but friends, family, anything. If you want to talk about the stars, I'm here. I'm not always here, I get that too, and I apologize, but I try to be. But anyways, you guys, it's wrapping up, and I gotta say bye. But I'll see you on the next one, okay? Don't forget to work out. Alright? See ya.